Hello everybody, today I'll bring you a game called One Finger Death Punch. Do you have a mouse and decent reaction speed? If so, you could have a lot of fun with this. This game is a prime example of a developer taking something simple and doing it very well. It is really fun and challenging in short bursts. I found that any longer and my level of focus starts to dip and I get a little bit sloppy. Definitely a game of style over substance, something with flashes of different colours. A game to be played with the lights on so it doesn't affect your eyes. It may not make you think of anything deep, but when something is this fun, it's difficult not to appreciate the simple joy of it. Once you've loaded into the game, there are very few loading screens, usually going straight into the stages. Stages of which there are many. There are around 30 stages in the first area alone. I've just finished clearing the first area and there are 10% of the map complete, so I can assume there are 200 to 300 stages. It's a great value proposition for such a cheap game, each offering stages that differ enough from one another to make you feel like you're not repeating the same level. One Finger Death Punch is a game where skill meets challenge to get you into the zone or flow state, where you're concentrating on doing something without thinking about it, with the only controls needed being the right and left mouse buttons. It features a dynamic difficulty slider that changes the speed that enemies approach you depending on how well you are doing, so things are never too easy or too hard. At the start of each stage, there is an on-screen number of enemies you need to defeat. It ticks down as you beat more and more, but if you're anything like me, you'll be too busy staring unblinkingly at the attackers on either side of you to check how many enemies there are left. Most of the stages you have 10 health, in other words you're able to take 10 hits. Health isn't as important as misses. You can have 1 health left and still get 5 stars if you have a low amount of misses. Try and press with calculated spam. If you just outright button mash, the game registers the input really quickly, and if an enemy isn't there, which they can easily not be, as the range on your unarmed strikes isn't that far, it'll count as a miss, and your star rating at the end of the stage will go down. While unarmed, enemies must enter your strike radius, which sometimes extends but is mostly static. A factor that keeps this game interesting is the enemy variety. There's the normal grey enemies who go down in 1 hit. There are the headband wearing enemies who prompt a series of left and right clicks in quickly falling order. There are bosses that require different inputs. There are enemies that dodge behind you, ones that take multiple hits. You can tell where an enemy is going to be next by the button symbol below them, so you know what to press. There are also ranged enemies who fire projectiles at you. These can be dodged at the right time with a click of the mouse in their direction. The sequel has incorporated skill points into the game, which after playing the first game is a welcome addition. They add variety to the gameplay. Scrolling down the page, it has a surprising amount of skill points. Ones I found particularly useful were the ones that wiped every enemy on one side, or the auto attack skill that will only last for a few seconds but kills a bunch of enemies for you. There are cinematic animations that occur randomly, whether it be execution style kills or chain attacks that kill multiple enemies, often occurring in slow motion, offering a momentary break you'll be thankful for, given the overall rapid pace of the game, allowing you to take stock of who's coming at you and from where. One of my favourites is a handstand kick that strikes one person on either side of you, given they are close enough. A fun little move is a spinning kick which one-shots enemies and keeps on going until you either get hit or miss an enemy. There is a one-hit KO where kung fu figures appear splashed in the background. The sound design seems like it has been ripped straight from an old kung fu film, with the strikes sounding righty, crunchy sound of breaking bones, and the weapons sounding realistic. The weapons, of which there are many, from basic weapons like swords, bows, throwing knives and staves, all the way to the more modern weaponry like pistols and sniper rifles. At one point I found myself fighting with an umbrella. They make you feel powerful during the limited time you have them, easily cutting down enemies faster and improving your range of attack, offering a nice change of pace from the mostly unarmed attacks. Each stage ends with a colourful show of the background and a slow motion strike on the last enemy. The next screen showing you rank in stars and a satisfying comment from the narrator. If all of this sounds like your cup of tea, check it out on Steam. The first game is £4 and the sequel is £6. There is also a demo for the sequel for those seeking to try before you buy. I would recommend checking it out. Prices may vary. And that's it. Thank you for watching. If you like what I'm doing here and would like to see more, feel free to like and subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.